Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for another franchise ranking video, and today guys, I'm going to be ranking the movies in live action for probably my favourite anti-hero of all time from Marvel Comics, and that's have to be none other than, of course, as you've seen by the title of the video, The Punisher. So yeah, so there's going to be 3 movies included in this ranking guys in live action for The Punisher, and I'll be ranking them from best to worst in my personal opinion, so yeah. Now, if you guys don't agree, that's absolutely fine, but please respect my opinion just like I respect yours. Okay, so starting with what is definitely my favourite Punisher movie of all time, guys. And I'm definitely going to go 100% with, of course, which is the movie from 2004, which is, of course, The Punisher. It's about Jonathan Hensley, and yeah, so I think this movie is a very underrated movie, guys. I really do. You know, it really shocked me that, it got negativity, because in my opinion, it doesn't really deserve it. I think it's an underrated superhero or anti-hero movie, very underrated comic book movie, in my opinion. So, yeah. And what's good about it is, so, this movie, it, of course, stars Thomas Jane as the Punisher, guys. And I'm going to be honest and say that he's my favourite movie actor for a Punisher of all time. He's so perfectly cast in a role, in my opinion, and he looks and sounds the part of the Punisher. He really does. He was so perfectly cast in a role. He's very badass and menacing, in my opinion, guys. And he plays him so well. Easily, in my opinion, the best part of the movie. And what's also cool is as well, he has the Skull logo on his shirt this time, which is a problem I have in a very bad Punisher we'll be getting to. But yeah, he does have the Skull logo on his shirt, which I'm very happy about. Because yeah, the Punisher, in my opinion, isn't the Punisher without his Skull logo, in my opinion. And the action is definitely really good to watch, in my opinion, guys. And I love how the movie is pretty dark, which definitely fits for a character Punisher, because he's by no means at all a character for children, guys. So I like how this movie was really dark. I did love that. And yeah, it was done so well, in my opinion. And it was also based on the Welcome Back Frank storyline of the comics, which is really cool. And also the 2001 Punisher series. So I like how it included comic book material. And there's even a pretty cool henchman called the Russian, played by Kevin Nash. He was pretty compelling in villain, in my opinion, guys. I really enjoyed him and the fight scenes with Punisher. There's other good cast members as well in this as well. For example, you've got Frank's family. For example, his father is played by Roy Schneider, may he rest in peace. And although I do like Roy Schneider, of course, best was Chief Brody in Jaws. But yeah, because he was only in the beginning of this movie, and sadly, of course, he gets killed off. Just like in the comics, how Frank's family gets killed, of course. And Rebecca Romijn was also very good, in my opinion. So yeah, I do like her in this movie, guys, as Joan. I think she plays Joan really well, but personally, I think she's way better as Mystique in the X-Men movies, in my opinion. That's what I'll say. Way better. But she was good what she was doing in this movie, in my opinion. She's a great actress, and she did it her best in this movie. The music composed by Carlos Siliotto is also very well composed, in my opinion, guys, for an action movie. There's even good songs too, like, for example, Broken by Steve and Amy Lee. Very good song, definitely fared very well, in my opinion. The movie even spawned a video game based on the movie, guys, is the following year, and Thomas Jane even reprised his role in the game, and it featured many connections to other characters in Marvel Comics, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and also, guys, this movie, in my opinion, is so underrated, and also, guys, I will also say as well that, in my opinion, this movie is an example of a film that deserves a sequel, because Thomas Jane deserves to play Punisher again, and he deserves more stories to be told with his version of a character, in my opinion. And this movie did kind of have an afterlife, because in 2012 there was a short film that came out called The Punisher Dirty Laundry, where Thomas Jane reprised his role, and it also starred Ron Perlman. It's a very good short movie, guys, and it makes me wish he'd get a sequel. Yeah, that short film was so good, and it makes me wish that Thomas Jane's Punisher will get a sequel, because he definitely deserves it because of how well he plays the character, in my opinion. However, though, guys, in my opinion, this may not be the true adaptation of Punisher, in my opinion. I think this movie is a lot weaker than other Punisher adaptations. So my bad qualities with this movie, which is why I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means, is because yeah, I didn't really like, of course, the villain of the movie, guys, which is Howard Saint, and he's played by John Travolta. And sadly, I think he was very miscast in the role because he sounded really bland and didn't really seem like he wanted to be in the movie. So yeah, it sounded like it was a bit of a shame to be in the movie. So yeah, and I think as well his death scene is an example of him not really wanting to try in the movie because he didn't really act like he was being burned alive really well. Because the death scene's very satisfying, guys, because Frank gets his revenge on him for killing his family. But I just think that, John Travolta could have done better, in my opinion. But he's a great actor, though, guys. I like him far better in things like, Pulp Fiction and Face Off, and also his voice work in Bolt and several other things he's been in as well. But yeah, I think he could have done much better in this movie, to be honest. Because I feel he was really bland and didn't sound like he wanted to be in the movie. And his death scene, it didn't sound like he was trying to act, I'm afraid, in my opinion. So yeah, but all guys, that's probably my only issue with the movie, because I don't really see why this movie got any hate, because I don't think it deserves it. So if I was to rank The Punisher 2004 out of 10, guys, I would probably give it a very solid 8 out of 10, because I think it's a very underrated movie, and I really hope it gets a sequel, because Thomas Jane's in his 50s now, guys, but he looks like he's in pretty good health to play another action movie role, and I hope he gets reprised as well as Punisher, I really do. And Dirty Laundry's even proof of it as well. Absolutely. And so that's Punisher 2004, guys. Now, in second place, guys, I'm going to be going with what is, of course, a reboot of a franchise released, of course, in 2008, which was directed by Lexi Alexander, and that was, of course, none other than Punisher Warzone. So yeah, now, once again, guys, I think this movie is also very underrated. I really do. Now, sure, I do like Punisher 2004 better, but personally, though, I think this movie is a very fun, guilty pleasure to watch. I have a lot of fun with Punisher Warzone. And once again, I don't understand why it's hated, because in my opinion, it doesn't deserve it. I really don't think it deserves the hate. So in this movie, guys, the Punisher is played by Ray Stevenson, and I will say that I think he did a very good job in the role with what he was given, actually. I don't think he played the Punisher badly, and this movie has been regarded as probably the worst Punisher adaptation, but personally, guys, I disagree, because I really enjoy this movie, and this movie actually does respect the character, because at least he has the skull logo on his shirt still, and it's also really dark, which is perfect for a Punisher film, because, yeah, Punisher, like I said, guys, is not for kids, so, yeah. And honestly, I don't understand, why it got negativity, because, this movie was supposed to be, dark, absolutely, so, yeah. And when it comes to your supporting cast, guys, I also as well really love the addition of Wayne Knight as Microchip, who is like the Punisher's sidekick and armourer. Yeah, Wayne Knight was really entertaining with his scenes, in my opinion, guys. It's a shame that Microchip got killed in the climax of the movie, but Wayne Knight was so good as him, and I consider it to be one of his best roles. Although, I do like him better, of course, as Dennis in Jurassic Park and as Stan in Space Jam, and also for his role in Basic Instinct, but he was really good in this movie as Microchip, and one of the reasons why I don't hate the movie. There's also a character, guys, called Detective Martin Soap, and in this movie, guys, he is pretty dumb. Yeah, he is dumb, there's no denying that, but, guys, that's the whole point, because in the comics, he is dumb. So it makes perfect sense for him to be done in this movie, and that's why I didn't mind Dash Mayork as him. Although I do like him better as the leader of the creatures in I Am Legend, the Dark Seekers. I did like him far better as a leader of the Dark Seekers in I Am Legend, but I thought he was really good in this movie as Martin Soap. I really do, because I think he played him very accurate to the comics, and I don't think he deserved the hate, in my opinion. The music is also good too, guys, in my opinion. I will admit the music is pretty good. Composed by Michael Wanmaker. Yeah, I thought the music was really good. It favoured tone of the movie, and irrespective of the gory nature of the character, because there is lots of gore in this movie, guys, lots of it. Yeah, there really is a lot of it. So, yeah. And, however, on to the bad quarters of the movie, guys. So, what I didn't really like was, the villain in the movie is Jigsaw, and personally, guys, I wasn't really much a fan of him. I thought he was pretty goofy and wasn't really that good or evil, in my opinion. I thought he was very cheesy, and also, he's played by Dominic West, guys, and in my opinion, he did not play him very well, especially because he didn't have a very good Italian accent for a role. In my opinion, it was actually pretty laughable. I had a bit of a laugh listening to him because he couldn't do an Italian accent. And also, they were also unfavorable to the comics, because in this movie, guys, he's not called Billy Russell, he's called Billy Rossotti. So that explains why he's got an Italian accent, so yeah, Rossotti. So that's why, guys, I do strongly prefer Ben Barnes' version of Jigsaw in the Punisher show. So yeah, I'll be getting to that show when I've done this ranking. So yeah. And also as well, the movie also as well the movie also doesn't develop Frank very well, because it doesn't show his family being killed, because this is, of course, a reboot, really, guys. Because, yeah, but the thing is, it acts like a standalone sequel to Punisher 2004, just with a different actor playing the Punisher, because it doesn't show Frank's family dying at the beginning like 2004 one did. And, but it's expected to go into a movie, you know, already aware of Frank's family dying and getting killed, which makes him want revenge. So, yeah. I don't really like how they just skipped right in, so yeah. So if you want to watch this movie, guys, I'd only watch it, you know, if you want to watch for the action purposes, whereas the 2004 one I feel has better development. But yeah, still though, guys, I still think Punisher Warzone is an underrated movie, and maybe I won't mind a sequel to this movie either. Although the movie does kind of have an afterlife, because Ray Stevenson would go on to reprise his role, or via voice work, of course, in the Marvel Superhero Squad show, so yeah, Even though I do hate that show, it is somewhat of a good pleasure to hear him reprise his role in that show. So, yeah. So if I was to rank Punisher Warzone out of 10, guys, I'll probably give it a pretty decent 7 out of 10. Because I think it's an underrated movie and doesn't deserve the hate, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's overhated. I mean, it does have problems such as a goofy villain and also not really developing Frank very well. And his actions also speak louder than words in this movie, because he doesn't say a word until about 25 minutes into the movie, sadly. So his actions speak louder than words in this, so yeah. I wish he spoke more. So, now on to probably what is, in my opinion, the absolute worst Punisher movie of all time, in my opinion, guys, that I absolutely hate. And that is, of course, none other than 1989's The Punisher. Oh my god, I really hate this movie, guys. What happened with this movie? I really don't know. Oh my god, this movie was just terrible, in my opinion. Directed by Mark Goldblatt. Yeah, this movie absolutely sucked, guys. It really did. Like, this movie just went horribly wrong, and it barely feels like a Punisher movie at all. So what's bad about it is, I mean, is there anything good about a movie? I really don't know, guys. I guess if you watch it thinking it's a cheesy 1980s action movie, it could work for you, maybe. And when I listened to Dolph Lundgren's, because he plays in this movie, guys, he plays Punisher. I heard his voice, of course, in the voice comparison for Punisher, and his monologue where he's talking to God sounded intriguing, and it made me want to watch a movie, but sadly, guys, I wasted my time on a movie. I was such a fool to watch this. What was I thinking? So what's bad about this movie is, like, this movie is extremely unfaithful to the comics. For example, because due to licensing issues, the Punisher does not wear the skull on his costume. It's gone. So it's not there at all. Like, and this movie barely feels like a Punisher at all. It also changes many details of Frank Castle's backstory. Like, if you took Frank out of the story and replaced him with another random character with a different name, it wouldn't change the movie at all. Not at all, in my opinion. Yeah, that's how unfaithful a movie is. And there's not any plot to Frank's backstory, really, even though we do see it. There's barely any of it. It's just boring and repetitive action, and there's hardly any story. Like, what is this movie about? I really don't know. And Frank is extremely underdeveloped as well, which is ridiculous. And Dolph Lundgren, apart from the monologue, which got me into watching the movie, I thought he was really bland in the role. And sadly, guys, I consider it to be his worst role. As much as I love him as Ivan Drago in Rocky, and also as King Neris in the DCU, and also as Gunnar Jensen in Expendables, and also for his voice work in Minions Rise of Gru and several other things he's been in. Yeah, I unfortunately consider it to be his worst role because of how bland he was. Didn't sound like he cared, in my opinion. And so yeah, it was just so boring to listen to from the entire cast, guys. The choreography was also pretty lame too, in my opinion. And it feels like a very cheesy 80s movie, because it is an 80s movie, of course. But it's barely even violent, in my opinion, guys. Goodness me. The production value was also really bad too. Like, this would be fine, guys, if the movie wasn't made near the end of the 80s. Yeah, exactly. And the dialogue is also so laughable as well, in my opinion. Like, because watching this movie, guys, I had a really good time laughing at it because of how bad it was, yeah. Like, it was so embarrassing. I was actually laughing my head off at how bad the dialogue was. And There's also no Punisher villains in this movie. All it is just for Yakuza, guys. And they're just reduced to being generic and underwhelming. And they have no personality whatsoever because how bland they are and no development whatsoever to them. So yeah, like, there's no like Punisher villains from the comics. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, this movie absolutely sucks, guys. And it's the one Punisher film that I refuse to buy. Because as you guys can see, I only own Punisher 2004 and Warzone in this two Blu-ray collection. So yeah, there's no way I'm ever buying this movie. Hell no. If I was to rank this film out of 10, guys, I mean, like I said, the only good quality I could say is that it's okay to watch if you're into cheesy 1980s action movies and you pretend it's not a Punisher movie. Yeah, you can literally watch this movie, guys, and pretend it's not a Punisher movie. That's what you should do, because it barely feels like Punisher at all. It just feels like a generic 1980s action movie. Because yeah, this movie, in my opinion, guys, is anything but a Punisher. It doesn't feel like it at all, in my opinion. It's just a generic 1980s action movie with very toned down violence and extremely cheesy and unfavourable to the comics. So yeah, screws me all away. I guess part of the music is also fine too. I guess composed by Dennis Drafe, but still not a good. Doesn't save the movie in my opinion. So if I was to rank this movie out of 10, guys, I'd probably give it a really bad, probably a 3 out of 10 for that, because yeah, this movie was just horrendous and one of the worst, like, comic book anti-heroes or superhero movies of all time, in my opinion. Because, yeah, this movie absolutely sucked, in my opinion. So, yeah, screws me all away. So, you guys are probably wondering, you know, what I think of the whole. So, The Punisher is a great character, guys. One of my favourite, and probably my favourite anti-hero of all time from Marvel, absolutely. But, in my opinion, guys, these films are not the true perfect adaptation of Punisher. In my opinion, the perfect adaptation of Punisher is Jon Bernthal's show. Yeah, because Jon Bernthal is my all-time favourite Punisher, guys. Like, absolutely phenomenal performance, in my opinion. Like, and I'm so angry that his show got cancelled. It didn't deserve to, because his 2 seasons were absolutely amazing. And just what I want in a Punisher show, in my opinion. Absolutely perfect, in my opinion. Yeah, I love the show very much. And it's a shame that it got cancelled. I'm very angry about that. And Jon Bernthal deserves to return as Punisher. He really does, guys. And yeah, if I wasn't done with the MCU, I would love to see him appear in MCU films. So I hope he gets surprised as well. Maybe in a Sony Marvel movie or something like that. I don't know. Just anything not in the MCU, to be honest. Because yeah. But yeah, Jon Bernthal's my favourite Punisher of all time, guys. If you guys want to see a true adaptation of Punisher, then please watch his show. Because yeah, you won't regret it. It's an amazing show. And also be sure to check out the second season of Daredevil, because he appears in that as a recurring guest star before he appears in his own show, of course. So yeah. So I'd recommend you guys go check out Daredevil Series 2 and then watch Punisher show. So guys, that's me ranking the Punisher live action movies. So first place, of course, would be Punisher 2004 with Thomas Jane. Second place would be, of course, Punisher Warzone with Ray Stevenson as Punisher. And then in last place, and definitely in least place, guys, because I hate the movie, The Punisher 1989 with Dolph Lundgren. So yeah, screw me all the way. Like, if you guys think those 2 films I just mentioned are bad, wait to see 1989, because that movie, in my opinion, is garbage. And some of you shouldn't be wasting your time on, because it's just horrendous. And it was a really fun time getting to punish that movie, if you will. So, drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to comments what you guys think of the Punisher films. Tell me how you guys would rank the live action movies, or how you guys would rank them. Also, be sure to join the team by pressing subscribe for movies from the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press one of these PC alerts or click the description, and I'll see you all later.